evening. Good to have you with us in the 8 p.m. edition of the Urban Debate, a story that started with infighting within the Congress's Punjab unit several weeks ago has now exploded into a massive crisis for the Congress leadership and the Congress headquarters. It started off with Captain versus Sidhu. It's now Captain versus Congress. It's also G23 versus Congress, rest of Congress. It's Sidhu versus the Congress party. It's a big mess, really, all around, going beyond the state of Punjab. On day one, yesterday, we saw Navjot Singh Sidhu resign as a state Congress chief in Punjab. Rebellion followed his decision to resign, and then we saw several others, his camp politicians, Punjab ministers, party post holders who also tendered in their resignation, none of which right now have been accepted. People quit, including 2 ministers. The very same day as all of this was unfolding, Captain Amrinder flew down to the national capital, claiming he is on a personal visit and will not be meeting any politicians. But on day 2, Sidhu first came out, said he's not going to back down, he's not going to stop his fight, and he is not going to compromise. The Gandhi family has remained completely silent. In fact, Rahul Gandhi is not even in the national capital. He's in Kerala. Priyanka Gandhi is in Uttar Pradesh. And the entire onus now has been put on the state unit to resolve this issue. Chief Minister Channi has been told, and he is the one who actually came out and said, I'm willing to discuss the concerns that Sidhu may have. We are open to talking about it. But the Congress leadership that played a very big part during the fight between Amrinder and Sidhu, that played a very big part in installing Sidhu as the state unit chief, has now completely distanced itself. Then came along the G23 leaders, as they are known, the leaders who last year came together and wrote a letter to the party high command demanding an overhaul in the party's structure, the party's organization, literally saying that the party needs to wake up and get its act together. Same leaders came out and spoke up today again. Kapil Sibal held a news conference. Ghulam Nabi Azad reportedly has written a letter. Sibal went on to say, we may be G23, but we are not the G Hazur group. And so we are going to ask questions, and so we are going to demand a CWC meeting to discuss what is going on. We don't know who is taking decisions. Senior Congress party leaders now saying, we don't know what is going on. Meanwhile, Captain Amrinder just concluded his meeting with Amit Shah. Adding to this entire potboiler is now Captain Amrinder's meeting with BJP's Amit Shah. In all of this, we've not heard from Sonia Gandhi, the acting president of the party, or anybody else on her behalf. And so the simple question we're asking tonight is, will she step in, and by the time she does and resolves this crisis, if she can, will it be too late? Often we've had conversations about the Congress party's own crisis, internal crisis, how it explodes and implodes, and yet again we seem to be at that juncture. At what point will the party leadership really get its own house in order? And will it be at the cost of losing power in Punjab? I say good evening to Charu Pragya of the BJP, Manpreet Sandhu of the Punjab Congress, Sujata Paul, political analyst, Vipin Pabi, senior journalist, and Mr. Javed Ansari, senior journalist, also joining me this evening. Let me actually start off with Mr. Ansari and get his view on what is unfolded in the last 2 days. Mr. Ansari, it's also left many people amused as to how it is being dealt with at every level.
Well, things are now coming to a boil in the Congress party. We know that all was not well, but now it's, it appears now that people have reached a point where they now believe that questions must be asked and people ought to be held accountable. What has happened is in Punjab is absolutely mind-boggling. Look at the kind of situation that the Congress has landed itself in. They had a chief minister, and by all accounts, the party was till about 2 months ago. Everybody believed that the Congress would come back to power. The Congress, in its wisdom, the leadership in its wisdom, decided to change Amrinder Singh. They brought in Mr. Sidhu. Then they chanced upon Mr. Channi as the chief minister. And now Mr. Sidhu is bailed out on them on a day when Captain Amrinder Singh is now, meeting the BJP leaders, meeting Mr. Amit Shah, which many believe is a prelude to either his joining the BJP or some kind of a political tie-up with the BJP. The Congress is left high and dry. And then you have the G23, which is now once again begun asking questions. The Congress reaction ought to have been, the Congress leadership ought to have reacted by calling in people, talking to them, rather than allowing the youth wing to go and stage demonstration. This is old, worn-out tactic, which doesn't wash any, and people know what all this is about. You can't wish away problems. You need to address them, and you need to consult people. And nobody should believe that they are so high and mighty that they can't be held accountable.
Yes, nobody should believe that they're so high and mighty, but what is happening is that despite the commentary that's coming in from various sides, no action is taking place on ground, no change is happening on ground. Manpreet Sandhu, where do you stand? And I ask you this question because there are way too many camps in the Congress party itself now, so I don't know which one you're going to be representing tonight.
I'll be representing the party only. And, party is the Congress party which I represent. That's it. Simple. There's no group, no part, no wings or something like that. Coming to the point of all this, what is happening? See, what I believe is that in Punjab, the democracy was played to the fullest. The MLAs had an issue on the governance issues, and the MLAs wanted a change in the leadership. The CLP voted it out, and that's how it rolled out. Now, coming to where the whole scenario is that overall the BJP is fueling all this drama everywhere. Start from Madhya Pradesh, start from Karnataka, start from Goa. Everywhere they are masters in horse trading and buying and selling and poaching and killing. That's all the BJP is doing. The BJP has no agenda of its own. They are surviving on default politics of how to kill the other parties, how to poach, how to buy, how to sell. That's all. BJP has come to a state of affairs that recently the Prime Minister was given a tuition on democracy and the principles of democracy by the Americans. Still, they have no shame, and they still come and start playing out different games. In Punjab, BJP is literally finished. There is no BJP. Forget BJP campaigning in Punjab. The leaders of BJP in Punjab cannot even come out of their houses properly. The farmers, the people of Punjab are sitting outside the residences. This is the state of affairs. And coming to this now, the BJP is banking on the tallest leader of Congress in Punjab. Today, Amit Shah and Narendra Modi are trying to bank upon Captain Amrinder Singh. Captain Amrinder Singh is our tallest leader in Punjab. There is no doubt about it. To revive their political fortunes in Punjab, Haryana and UP, Amit Shah and Modi have come down to this, that they have to bank on Congress. So they should not teach us a lesson on this.
But Mr. Sandhu, I'm actually amazed at what you're saying right now, because there's so many aspects to what's happening in Congress. How can you put it all on the BJP? I can still understand if your sole point here is that Captain Amrinder is meeting Amit Shah and he may end up joining BJP, and that's what it is all about. It was all a BJP's ploy to begin with. But you let go of Captain Amrinder.
No, Tanvi, listen to me. Tanvi, I can reply to that.
Yes.
It started with Madhya Pradesh. Then it came down to Karnataka. Then Goa was the same story. Did they poach or they did not poach? Did they do the horse trading or not? Did they pick up the MLAs? Did they kidnap the MLAs or whichever way you may say?
Well, what does that have to do with what's happening right now? Are you telling me your MLAs are with the BJP right now?
Similarly, they did it in Rajasthan. Again, they brought the situation to that. It's the BJP who is trying to survive on default politics. They want to somehow remain existential. You wait and see. You wait and see what the farmer movement is going to do to BJP all over India.
Well, no,
They
Mr.
don't
San-
talk about.
Okay,
they-
Charu
they
Pragya.
don't talk about. Okay, now.
I am
Tanvi,
completely.
one more thing.
Yes.
Tanvi, one more thing. You just said that we let Captain Amrinder go. No, Captain Amrinder is not gone anywhere. He is our tallest leader. He will remain with us. Firstly. Secondly, Tanvi, the thing is, how many debates have national media channels held on Advani? What has happened to Advani? Advani is mum. He's nowhere to be seen or heard for the last 7 years. How many debates have the national media held on Advani and the treatment given out to Advani?
Okay.
Whereas BJP leaders are
Okay, so I am not going to answer on behalf of everybody else to you, but I can tell you that what is happening right now gets the focus of a news channel. What's happened right now is Punjab and possibly in some days Chhattisgarh again. Every time there is crisis in some part of Congress, in any other unit, the Chhattisgarh issue comes up again. What happened before this in Gujarat for BJP, we covered it. What happened before that in Karnataka for BJP, we covered it, we debated it. So let's not go down that road, Mr. Sandhu. What's happening right now is completely a Congress made and a Congress problem. But Charu Pragya, do respond to what is the role that your party seems to have played here, apart from Mr. Shah hosting Captain Amrinder this evening.
So Tanvi, I was noting down words that the Congress spokesperson was using. Existential. That was the first word I noted down. That's his entire problem. That's what the crisis is about, and that's why he's so frustrated, and I have all sympathies with him. Trust me, I do. But me being sympathetic does not mean that I have to agree with a word of his ranting, because the fact is the Gandhi siblings got it entirely wrong. Gandhi siblings basically did what I say in Hindi, ghar phook tamasha dekh. They decided on a leader, they backed a leader, and they lost Captain Amrinder Singh Ji because of that decision, and then that leader also walked. So, well then, why are you blaming another party? Or is your existential crisis so large that you still cannot look within your own camp and understand where you're going wrong? You talk about poaching. Why don't you talk about the fact that none of your leaders are satisfied in your party? Why don't you talk about the fact that we had a sitting chief minister of Congress, one of the rare chief ministers of Congress, in fact, if I may add, come out in public and say he feels humiliated. He comes to the public and declares very openly that he's dissatisfied with the way things are going in the party. But you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to put any attention on that. I suggest you do if you're a well-wisher of your party. Lastly and most importantly, it was your party's former chief minister who has called Sidhu unstable enough to not be given the runnings of a border state of India, a state which is critical for the internal security of our country. He has said it, and you don't want to dwell on those things. Here you are coming and pointing fingers at BJP because that's all you know how to do. And then no big surprise there that you lose election after election. And if by a rare chance you get to form a government, well, you have to find the support of some other local political party to even get yourself going. So it's really sad, and the way you're ranting on this national channel, it doesn't surprise me. That's the way your party
I'm just going to come in here because Captain Amrinder's media advisor has actually just tweeted a picture of the meeting and said that met Union Home Minister Amit Shah in Delhi, discussed the prolonged farmers' agitation against farm laws and urged him to resolve the crisis urgently with the repeal of laws and guarantee MSP besides supporting Punjab in crop diversification. Of course, the picture that's actually been doing rounds all evening is a file picture, not of the meeting today, as you can see from what the two gentlemen are wearing, but the commentary here, Mr. Vipin Pabbi. Captain Amrinder, does he have the intention of going to the BJP, or is he simply just having a little bit of fun today and using the farm laws plank as an excuse to meet Amit Shah and just ruffle a few feathers?
No, then in fact, Captain Amrinder Singh, what we call in Punjabi is khundak. He is wanting to take a revenge on Sidhu, and so it is not a meeting which can be seen lightly that he might be just not serious about it. There might be certain things which could have been discussed. May not be the possibility of his joining the BJP. There may not be possible or may not be true. But maybe he could float a regional party and he heads it and BJP supports him. Or there is some other tie-up which he can do with the BJP. There are also reports that he demanded president's rule in Punjab. So all kind of things are there. Unless these are confirmed, it's difficult to say. But one thing is clear, that Captain has taken on himself that he will take revenge. And I think the Congress spokesperson is, putting up a really brave face. It's a very, very difficult day for him.
Yes.
And things are so getting desperate and messy for the Congress. I think they would have realized by now the kind of blunder they did. And they are not ready to face consequences. Congress, both the siblings are not even office bearers in the sense that they could take on a responsibility. So Priyanka Gandhi is General Secretary of UP and Rahul Gandhi is a former president. So, and now they are both silent on it. They have left it on the Chief Minister of Punjab, who really doesn't have that kind of an aura or capability to deal with it. So, but I overall feel that maybe the party is drawing a line and they will be watching what happens tomorrow when Kejriwal holds a press conference in Chandigarh. This rumor had also been going on for long that Sidhu will do as much damage as possible and then maybe join another party, which is the Aam Aadmi Party.
Well, the Aam Aadmi Party would definitely, do well to first take lessons from what happened to the BJP and then the Congress Party. I mean, maybe, Mr. Sandhu, you can use that as an argument that I blame it all on BJP because they exported Navjot Singh Sidhu to your party several years ago. And look where it has landed you today, just months ahead of elections. But I have...
Navika.
Tanvi.
Sorry, Tanvi. Please mark my words today on this debate. Mark my words. We'll have a debate in February 22 or March 22. Congress will form the government in 22 in Punjab. For sure. Mark my words. Put it on a recording and please, we'll debate on it.
Okay, with or without Sidhu and Captain?
The Congress Party. This is what I mean. See, the party is always bigger than all the human beings, all the leaders. The party is always supreme. And trust me, the people who are finding that, we have lost it all, it'll be an egg on their face in 22. Wait and see.
Okay, but before that, Sujata Paul, are your party, Congress Party's own leaders who have come out and said, call for a CWC meet. We want to discuss Punjab at the core working committee level. Now, people can say, oh, Rahul Gandhi is not here, he's in Kerala, and Priyanka Gandhi is not there, she is in Lucknow. That's a little convenient. When they want to be part of the party's functioning, they are. When they wanted to egg Sidhu on, when they wanted him to get some more power, they pushed, they met. And when there is now a crisis as a result of that, they seem to not care because they aren't officially party post holders.
Absolutely not. There is no crisis. This is the reinvention of the Congress Party, and I can assure you about that. If at 80, a tall leader like Captain Amrinder still wants to continue and be the chief ministerial face in the next election, let me be very clear, the people of Punjab have already told us that he's not a very popular person. He has not been meeting people, and there are various reasons for that. And I would say that with all due respect to him, because he is a great leader, he's a great patriot of our country, he is a great person. But the line stops over there, because now it is time for the new generation to come forward. We must not forget the way Mr. Charanjit Singh Channi has handled this situation. We must not forget the way he has said that I picked up the phone, I spoke to Mr. Sidhu. And there is always room for communication to resolve this problem. What Mr. Kapil Sibal did, in spite of being a tall leader, by going and conducting a press conference, is not the right thing to do. If he really considers a Congress party important even today, he should pick up the phone and talk to people. He should talk to the people who he wants to talk to, because obviously he can. They are all approachable as far as he's concerned. Or is he trying to say that he does not have any importance? But look at the BJP. The BJP talks about national security. Shame on them. In Uttarakhand, the Chinese have entered our territory, destroyed infrastructure and gone back. And the BJP is jumping at what is happening in Punjab. Very sorry to say that the BJP has actually posed, like my friend Manpreet Sandhuji has said. But I'm not going into this. This is not a problem for us at a time when we have youngsters joining our party, people understanding that this is a large ship and the only ship that can save this country. I think the future will
The
be
youngsters
bright
you're
for the
citing
Congress
right
party.
now, Sujata Paul, are also the same youngsters who sat on the Congress party's podium at the Congress party headquarters and spoke about saving the Congress party.
Absolutely. But what are they saying? They're saying that if this party does not exist, then this country is in danger. Democracy is in danger. That is what they said. They didn't say that this party needs to be saved. They said that democracy needs to be saved. I definitely want to talk about one particular thing. We were talking about the BJP. What has the former Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Mr. Trivendra Singh Rawat, said about one of the cabinet ministers of Uttarakhand, Mr. Harath Singh Rawat? He has said, Gadha bhi dhecha dhecha karta hai. This is the language he has used. He has called Rahul Gandhi Pakistan ka pilla. Dushyant Gautam has done that. Is that the kind of language we need in this country? Is that the kind of politics we need in this country? No.
Okay.
The Congress party is reinventing itself, and it will be a winner because the DNA of this country has Congress in it. and
Okay.
Congress has
Let me ask the experts. Let me ask the experts. We have two senior journalists on this panel.
20 seconds. Just
20
one
seconds to Charu Pragya. Yes.
Yeah. No. I'm not even making a point. I'm just saying maybe Congress should get this political analyst to be a spokesperson. At least she put up a very strong defense for
Yes,
Congress.
I am. I will speak for the Congress because Congress is in the DNA of this country, and this country is in the DNA of the
We
Congress
have
party.
two very strong defenders of the Congress party tonight. But I want to go to the experts on the panel and Mr. Javed Ansari. 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Allow me to get Javed Ansari. Manpreet Sandhu, I'm coming to you in just a bit. I just want to ask Mr. Ansari this question. Does he see this as the reinvention of the Congress party by any standards? And Mr. Ansari, who do we expect to take action? At the end of the day, I still don't see too many people asking this question of Sonia Gandhi. There is a lot of conversation about Congress leadership, Congress High Command, Rahul Gandhi. But at the end of the day, it's Sonia Gandhi who's still the working president. Is she not approachable or is she not responding?
Look, there is absolutely no question in my mind, and there should be no question in anybody else's mind, that the Congress president is Sonia Gandhi. Whether she's an interim president or working president or a short-term president, the fact is that she's the president, and there can be only one president at a time. And all decisions flow from her. So therefore, she's the one who can convene a CWC meeting. She's the one who can appoint or remove people, and she's the one who will eventually have to, the buck stops with her. The onus is on her. She's the one who will eventually have to shoulder the responsibility. There is absolutely no. And Mrs. Gandhi has done it in the past, and I'm surprised why she's not doing it now, because she's done it in the past. She's hauled the Congress party up from the doldrums and brought it on its 4 feet, and they ruled for 10 years. She's the one who kept all of them together. If there is one person in the Congress party who can keep the show going, who can keep the party intact, who can bring the different factions together and work together, it is Mrs. Gandhi. Hers has always been a consensual style, and she must revert to that.
So exactly my point, what explains the fact that she hasn't stepped in yet? Is it because it was the younger Gandhis who pushed for Sidhu, and she now wants to wait and let things unfold to a great extent before she steps in? Would that be a wise choice, Mr. Ansari?
But certainly, she is the Congress president. You can't have these considerations. The party is paramount. Whatever is in the larger interest of the party, that decision has to be taken. And she, you can't wish away problems. I can understand. A part of the reason why she's not as active as she used to be earlier is because of her health.
Yes.
But nonetheless, now it's the Congress Party's health which appears to be in ICU. And if they don't act now, when else will they?
But Sujata Paul says
the
there is
Congress-
absolutely no problem to begin with. Yes, Manpreet Sandhu wanted to make a point. Go ahead, please.
I was talking about the nationalistic agenda of the BJP. They keep harping on nationalist agenda all the time that, oh, we are the biggest nationalists. Till date, it's for the first time in the history of India that an ISI team was allowed to come and investigate and inspect the Pathankot airbase. What happened to that? Where was the nationalist agenda that time? They're inviting ISI. They keep blaming everybody that ISI is doing everything. They invited ISI. Secondly, what happened to the Pulwama attack? Where our soldiers were martyred. There's no report. What happened? What was the reason? Where did all that happen? How did it happen? Where did it go? No report. The Prime Minister very conveniently lands in Pakistan, has biryani and everything, and etc. etc. He gives a shawl or a sari to the Prime Minister's mother over there, and then they blame.
Because like these repeated arguments.
Please have the courtesy to.
Okay. Charu, I'll give you time. Let him finish his point and then you can respond. Yeah.
Let her reply on the ISI coming to Pathankot airbase. Let her reply, then I will come back on Pulwama. Tell her to give a reply on the nationalist agenda of inviting ISI on our airbase to investigate. Come on. Is the BJP government so dumb that they've invited the enemy into our country?
Okay, Mr.
What was the reason? Please give us a reason on that. Then we'll go further on the debate.
Can I come in now, Tanvi?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I don't know
Please.
why the Congress Party doesn't have an answer to why this was done 5 years ago, but yes, go ahead and give them that answer then.
No, they keep harping on that. Like,
kindly don't speak over me. I'm done with the repeated comments that Congress seems to make year after year after year, not just
yes,
debate after debate.
We haven't got an answer, so we need an answer. Please give an answer on that. Who invites the enemy to an airbase?
Okay, one at a time. Okay, allow her to reply now.
Yeah, please.
Yes, Charu. Well, technology and its timing, I must say, just at the instant that Charu Pragya was to respond, her feed has actually frozen. So we're going to try and reconnect with her. But let me meanwhile come to the larger question that I raised right now. Two big developments as we speak this evening, Sujata Paul. One of Captain Amrinder meeting Amit Shah. We'll wait to see if it goes anywhere or if it was just actually only about farm laws. But the other one, and this cannot be wished away, because these are senior party leaders who are now calling for an entire overhaul of the structure, asking very critical questions of the leadership. This can't be wished away.
You know, Tanvi, we must understand one thing. It happens in families. The elder generation wants to control the younger generation. And that is what I can see of this entire thing. The G23, as you call it, all these leaders seem to want to exert their control over the present generation, which is kind of trying to find its place. And that is being resisted big time. And Mr. Sibal, the manner in which he has conducted that press conference proves very much that he cannot bear to be sidelined, because, you know, he has to step aside. He was a Rajya Sabha member initially also. It's not like, you know, he contested an election and he was chosen by the people. But he's a great leader. He is a very important leader of the Congress party. But at this point of time, like I said initially, there seems to be a transition that the Congress party is making, and there are people who seem to be perturbed by the fact that they, you know, their control seems to be going away, and that is something that they cannot fathom, they cannot accept. They will have to make way for the new generation to come in because people want it. We are a young country.
So
and
what are you referring to? What are you referring to? Let's get specific. When you say people can't fathom control being going away because in the party there is only one family that has the control. And what is this young blood that is threatening Ghulam Nabi Azad or Kapil Sibal?
Yes, I
Sorry to interrupt.
I was talking about that.
Can I speak now?
Just one minute. Let me just finish this point and then I'll come back to you. Yes.
You know, this is exactly what I'm saying. Look at the way Mr. Kapil Sibal has gone about having a press conference. He could have, supposing he couldn't speak to the Gandhis, he could have spoken to the others also. Did he speak to Mr. Randeep Surjewala? Did he speak to all the other leaders? He could have spoken.
They publicly stood up a year ago and raised these issues and nothing happened for a year. What else do you want them to do?
Yes, no, but why does he have to go to the public?
Because for a year, the party leadership did nothing about it.
Well, does he have to go and have a press conference if there's a fight amongst family members? Do they go to the court straight away or do they try to resolve that problem within the party? No, they're not doing that.
Well, I'll tell you what, when the family members stop listening, then you have no option. When your own leaders stop listening to you, then you have no option. I mean, imagine those MLAs who flown down from Chhattisgarh to meet the party leadership. I don't know why they've even gone today when the party leadership is not even in the national capital. They're going to wait now until somebody hears them. Every few days, this issue boils over. Nobody seems to be handling that or tackling the Chhattisgarh issue at all.
Tanvi.
It will become another story in a bit. The only point I'm making, Sujata Paul, is that the leadership needs to react on time. And if that doesn't happen, then there is no point to it. If the top leaders, senior most leaders of your own party have been raising the same issue publicly for over a year, then at what point will you respond to it?
Tanvi, but look at the difference here. I'm not going to compare because there is no comparison. Look at the BJP. There nobody speaks. Everybody, because they are slaves. And they're slaves to just one man. Look at what happened. Look at what happened in Gujarat. Look at what happened in Uttarakhand. 3 chief ministers out of, when they had 57 MLAs out of 70. Look at the manner in which they conduct themselves. That people have no authority to speak.
Okay. All right. Let me get now Charu to respond to all of the points and then I'll go across to Mr. Vipin Pabi. Yes, Charu.
So just to put everything in perspective for Ms. Paul, because she seems to be missing the point, the quality of leaders who are agitating / leaving the Congress party. Sachin Pilot, he was called back to the fold for whatever reasons. I don't want to get into it. Mr. Scindia, Shushmita Dev, Priyanka Chaturvedi, very recently Jitin Prasada, very recently the former Chief Minister of Goa, most recently Captain Amrinder Singh Ji. That is the level of leaders Congress is letting go of because they still prefer the Darbari culture. If nobody is going and doing chakkars of their kursi, they are not even listening to what is the problem of leadership and what is the quality of the leaders who are joining Congress today. I will tell you, just listen to this. Hardik Patel, Kanhaiya Kumar, Jignesh Mevani. That is the young leadership that Ms. Paul is talking about. And this young leadership, what are they doing? They are creating drama, and more drama. And that is what she's calling a positive change. Well, I'm sorry. If you have issues in your house and you're washing dirty linen in public, you should own up to it and at least reflect a little bit. All your false bravado and congratulations, you've kept up a very brave face. But that's all it is. False bravado because your house is crumbling. You have no ground, so to speak, to stand on. The one state you had, which had a somewhat stable government, has crushed. And it's crushed because of your own mistakes. So you know what? Before you start doing Modi BJP for every single thing and sing stories of 5 years ago, reflect a little bit. I give the same advice to both the Congress spokespersons on your show today. Because, Tanvi, this entire argument, they are only saying this is what BJP is doing. Well, like I said, we are bystanders. And if somebody is doing well for this country...
Well, I'm going to say one thing. And I agree. Okay, I agree with Mr. Vipin Pabi when he says it's an extremely difficult time.
Which leadership? It's just the two Gandhi siblings who are too immature to handle the crisis
Oh,
the party
really?
is facing.
Oh, really? Look at the immaturity of the Prime Minister. Look at the way he was treated in the US of A. So please don't
Okay,
tell us all
okay,
this.
okay. Everybody just calm down here.
Tanvi,
Everybody just calm
Tanvi,
down here, please. And let's just have a civil conversation without getting personal about any personality. Calm down, everybody, calm down. I'm just going to go across to Mr. Vipin Pabbi and ask him one simple question again. Mr. Pabbi, to your mind now, what's the way forward from here as far as resolving the Punjab issue is concerned? You know, between Captain Amrinder and Sidhu and Channi and all the different camps, what should Sonia Gandhi do now?
I think tomorrow is a very critical day for Punjab politics, even for Congress. And the thing that so far the party high command has not reacted, they haven't come out with any kind of statement. They haven't even sent people across to Chandigarh to meet Navjot Sidhu. It appears that, they are not really, they think that their line has been crossed. And it will be very, very embarrassing now to take back those decisions, say to remove the DGP within 2 days or the AGP. So it's a very tight situation for them, very embarrassing. And as far as Sidhu is concerned, his method has been my way or highway. So he says that either you accept my demands or I will not. So this has been his, his way from a very long time, whether it was while he was playing cricket or whether he was with BJP or with Aam Aadmi Party or what he tried to do with Aam Aadmi Party last time. And so the situation is very, very fluid right now. What I think the Congress may have, decided that there's a limit and that has been reached. So it will be difficult for them to rewind.
There were several reports, Mr. Pabbi, that emerged about Congress, having a plan B, giving about 24 hours to the state leadership to see if they can resolve this issue and get Sidhu back into the fold. Else they come up with another name as the party chief. But who is the state leadership that, repeatedly we keep referring to? Who's really, I mean, is it Mr. Channi who's actually
they're actually looking at some younger leaders. So Kuljit Singh Nagara is one student. He was a student leader. He's a very effective parliamentarian also. And then there is another leader, the grandson of Byan Singh. He is also there. So there are, I think they will be looking at some younger leaders because that's the kind of generational change they are talking about everywhere. So probably here also, if there's a replacement for Sidhu, it will be a younger leader, not very well established, but maybe who is a good speaker or is a good following or is politically savvy.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, Mr. Sandhu, go ahead, please.
Tanvi, the BJP spokesperson was busy ranting about leaders coming in, leaving Congress and joining Congress and all that stuff. Very, very, very nicely, she forgets West Bengal. Then, as soon as they went out of power and they didn't get power in West Bengal, the entire BJP is vanished. They're leaving BJP and going. And trust me, the day Modi is ousted from the parliamentary as a parliamentary leader, let them have a vote in parliament. In the same parliament, nobody will vote for Modi. This is dictatorship going on in Delhi. And this dictatorship is hell-bent on killing democracy all over the country. And very rightly, the Americans taught them a tuition on democratic principles recently. And still they didn't learn. 600 farmers have died in Delhi. On the borders of Delhi, 600 farmers have died. The Honorable Prime Minister does not have a word of empathy for them. He is busy watching and going and inspecting his royal palace being constructed. Till date, it's been a year, not even a word for 600 farmers. It's a shame on them. And now they're trying to bank on our tallest leader. Trust me, they're trying to bank on our tallest leader. We have great respect, the greatest respect for Captain Amrinder Singh. What are they doing? They're trying to bank on him to revive the BJP's fortunes.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, Mr. Sandhu, and I hope you give me an answer which is outside of the BJP angle. It's a very simple question. Why is it that in a state like Punjab, where you've been in power, you had a tall leader, one of your tallest leaders at the helm of everything, you have a second rung of good leaders, a great campaigner in Sidhu, if that's how the Congress party sees it. How did you reach this point in the last 6 months? So who will you blame for where you stand right now?
I'll tell you. Tanvi, listen. The thing is, this is a generational change. And whenever there's a generational change, there is definitely some side effects, after effects do crop up. That is the issue. Trust me, you are here, I am here. For the next 4 months, Punjab, we will give you a very stable government.
Okay,
The
so
stability
you
of the
said
state-
generational change, which
But-
means that Captain
Yeah.
Amrinder's time had come. He served the party and the state of Punjab enough. He's at that age where maybe another term is not something that the Congress party wanted to look at. Fair enough. You bet on Navjot Singh Sidhu. That bet has now gone haywire against the advice of many of the party's senior leaders. Who would you blame for that?
Tanvi, we have not bet on him alone. We have Mr. Channi as the CM. We have Mr. Sukhjinder Randhawa as the Deputy CM. We have Mr. Soni as the Deputy CM. We have a full army of good, seasoned senior leaders, and due respect is being given to everybody. You wait and see. Mr. Channi will prove all these critics wrong. And this is the same BJP who was criticizing Captain Amrinder during his regime. For the last 4.5 years, they were busy criticizing him. And now they are going the opposite way.
Okay, well, Mr. Vipin Pabi, can that happen? That Mr. Channi really carries the entire burden on his shoulders and still make it for the Congress party? Because, you know, a few months ago, if we had a conversation, many were saying that there isn't a very big challenge to Congress in Punjab, even with the elections next year. Has that equation changed?
Yes, Tanvir, certainly it has. Till about 5 or 6 months ago, it was smooth sailing for Congress. The Shiromani Akali Dal and BJP alliance had broken down. Aam Aadmi Party was scattered and didn't have a leader and didn't have a plan. So it was, everyone thought in Punjab that it's hardly a contest in Punjab and they're sure to move, to win it. But things changed as and when they decided to bring in Navjot Sidhu. And as I was saying earlier, that he made it very clear that he will be the party chief or he will be the deputy chief minister. And Captain Amrinder Singh was strongly opposed to it. But the party leadership did not agree. Maybe they were actually bullied by him because he's a very aggressive character and he said, I will damage the party or something, whatever he might have said. But it appears that he almost bullied the party high command to make him the party president. And there was not a day when he was not there to damage the party from within. So it was bound to happen that the Captain Amrinder Singh had to go, and in such a humiliating manner. So that has gone very much against the Congress party. And now after that also, he was wanting to be the chief minister, certainly. And if not chief minister, at least a super chief minister, which again, the party did not allow or could not allow. So therefore, he has gone back on whatever he wanted to do. And he thought that he will be able to control the chief minister and the government and take all the important decisions, which Channi has not been, or Channi, or I would say the party high command also did not allow. But as you were asking about whether Channi will be able to pull along the entire Congress party, it's very, very difficult. He was number 5th or 6th minister, doesn't have that kind of a charisma as Captain Amrinder Singh had, doesn't have much to show. If they were the people who was criticizing Captain Amrinder Singh government, and saying that, he did nothing 4.5 years. Now with almost the same team, you want to do something in 4 months and with so much of crisis at hand. So it becomes very, very difficult for Channi. It will be very difficult for him to pull along various groups, even though he is maybe a simple man, but he's not that much of a political savvy person. And secondly, he was really not the first choice. He was the 5th choice of the Congress. And so now they're trying to say that it's a Dalit card and all that. That doesn't go down well. And then comes Harish Rawat's statement saying that we would have Navjot Sidhu as the chief minister phase, and then again, reversing their decision. So people are now are able to look through it, and I don't think he alone, Channi alone, can really take the Congress well ahead in the coming elections.
Okay, yes. Charu Pragya wanted to come in.
Yeah, and I want to just throw one more speculation out for thought. there is word about, and I have no proof for this, but there is word about that Sidhu is going to be joining Aam Aadmi Party. I would like to know the opinion of both the Congress spokespersons about this, because they are so diligent in defending the decisions of the Gandhi siblings. So the person behind whom you put all your might and strength first resigns because he is being like a stubborn child. Don't give me my toy and I'm going to throw a tantrum. And now there is talk, at least in Delhi, that he's looking to join Aam Aadmi Party, probably come forward as their CM face. What is the defense you have left?
Well, the Congress Party for now is going to try and maybe see that that doesn't happen. With information coming in that it is possible that the Punjab Chief Minister goes to Patiala and meets Navjot Singh Sidhu, likely to meet him before the Aam Aadmi Party's press conference, maybe. But Mr. Sandhu can shed some more light on what is the grand plan. Yes, Mr. Sandhu.
Tanvi, first of all, see, the BJP has come back. The BJP IT cell comes into action as soon as something takes place.
I would appreciate better language. Come on, we can be decent to each other. I'm not the IT cell, and I don't know what do you mean by IT cell. It's not like
right.
have an IT cell and a media cell and a crime cell and an international cell and so on and so forth.
Don't speak over me, please, please.
I have to speak, right? When you're not being factually correct about me. No, you can go forward. You're actually correct about me.
Don't let me speak. Let me finish.
Okay. Yes, let's go ahead. Let's move on. Yes, Mr. Sandhu.
See, first of all, it is a cooked up story, speculating. All the time they're busy interfering in other parties. इनको अपनी पार्टी का तो पता नहीं.
There is a debate when Sidhu joins Aam Aadmi Party.
1 minute, Charu Pragya, allow him to finish. You've been on our conversations. You know how it works. You know how it works in urban debate. I'll come back to you. Yeah.
See, it's there, it's like a birthright they have adopted that we have to interfere in everybody. In every party, we have to go and try to fiddle out and see what is happening, what is not happening, and, smelling everybody and sniffing everybody. That's all BJP is doing. Because if they sniff into their own party, they'll come up with the most foul smell. So they're busy, smelling around here and there.
Okay, so but tell us, will you manage to stop Sidhu from? Does your party want to? 1 minute, please. Let's stick to the point. Does your party want to stop Sidhu from joining the Aam Aadmi Party? His ideas and his issues are pretty much on the same lines as what Mr. Kejriwal wants to talk about.
And
Trust me,
Mr. Kejriwal not long ago.
Trust me on one thing, Mr. Sidhu today in his yesterday the resignation which he tweeted, in that also he has said that I am there with the party, I'll serve the party. So there's no question of his
Mr.
going
Sandhu,
anywhere.
yesterday when Captain Amrinder landed in the national capital, he said, I am not going to meet any politician. I am here for my own personal visit and to vacate the Chief Minister's house. Guess which politician he ended up meeting today?
Mr. Amit Shah doesn't have time for 600 farmers who died for the last 1 year, and he has time for everybody else.
No, I'm just saying it's very difficult to take politicians at face value basis what they say.
Whoever suits them, it's like that. 600 farmers have died and nobody has listened to them. Nobody has gone, nobody has time to meet them also. They say come for talks, but they don't invite them for talks.
Why don't
it's
you
like that.
answer the question put to you? Why don't you answer that?
Can I come in?
I've answered it.
Manpreet Sandhu is very sure Sidhu is not going to join the Aam Aadmi Party. That's all speculation being fed by the BJP IT cell. Okay. I am completely out of time. Last 30 seconds to Charu Pragya. Yes.
Yeah, no. I only have a humble request to you. When Sidhu joins Aam Aadmi Party, ensure
we'll get you both back on the panel. Okay.
Please ensure you invite me back. With the Congress person. Promise me that. Thank you.
For sure it won't happen. Trust me. You won't have the opportunity to debate with me on that.
Okay. Right. Yes, completely out of time. Thank you to all of you for joining me on this conversation. As much as we're sitting here and smiling at what is happening, it's definitely a big crisis for the Congress party, for their representatives. It's been a tough task to defend it. They've vociferously tried to do so. I only hope that that's how even the party leadership deals with the issue. But what is it that we're looking at? We actually saw a bunch of Congress party workers protesting outside Congress party leader Kapil Sibal's house. In all of the drama that has unfolded over the last several weeks, the Congress party leadership, even day before, yesterday or today, has not commented on the developments. They've not uttered a word about Sidhu's resignation. They've not uttered a word about the 5 other resignations. They've not uttered a word about Captain Amrinder being in Delhi and then meeting Amit Shah. They haven't uttered a word about what's going on in Chhattisgarh. But what did they choose to respond to? They chose to respond to Kapil Sibal, thereby starting another fight. Congress versus Congress, Congress versus Captain, Captain versus Sidhu, Sidhu versus Congress, in Chhattisgarh, Chief Minister versus T.S. Singhdeo. What's going on? And at what point, and who rather, will put Congress party's house in order? We wait and we watch and we report it to you. Thank you for joining us.